So this is a wonderful time of year. We had ordinations for our diocese yesterday, and one of the newly ordained, he spent, I believe, a summer here. Now Father Chuck Warren, a couple of you remember him. So he's having his first Mass a bit later today, well, still this morning. So I promised him I would go to that Mass. 6 years ago, I helped him fill out his seminary application. I'm always happy to do that. So anyway, so if at the end of Mass, if you see me, I'm not running away from you. I'm running to the first Mass. Okay, so please don't take it personally. A seminary in Mexico in July with no air conditioning. That was me, my first summer as a student for the priesthood. Our diocese sent me down there. And I very quickly checked my Diccionario Español, my Spanish dictionary, and I asked the local seminarians in broken English, or broken Spanish, where can I buy a fan? Well, they pointed off in the distance to a small shopping mall, that had kind of the Latino equivalent of a Kmart. And they assured me that they'll have a fan. And they very happily said, we will take you. Okay. So we left the nice thick walls of the seminary, and right outside was a fairly large field. And the field had this cow. Her name was Isabel, so of course I called her Bessie. And how does one say this in church? It was very evident that she had roamed all over that field. So to get to Kmart, we had to cross Bessie's field. And I watched my step, and I managed to cross the field with my shoes still clean. Mall is closer in sight. But at the edge of the field, I notice there's a creek. It must have been 4 feet deep. And the water, I'm not kidding, the water was neon purple. Now, the only way to cross the radioactive creek was an I-beam. Right. Now, consider my width and consider the width of an I-beam. Of course, at which point my inner gringo was coming out. And I think this might have been the gift of tongues, because at that point my Spanish suddenly became perfect, and I said the Spanish equivalent of, no, this is not happening, I'm going back to the seminary. And I started to walk back. And the local seminarians tell me that, no, Juanito, it will be okay. Just watch Pepe. So Pepe went across, head up, arms out, 1 foot in front of the other. Well, okay, once Pepe got to the other side, he calls over to me and says, Juan, now you. Juan, don't look down. Just look at me. So I made the sign of the cross. And I told all of them, I said, I entrust this pilgrimage to Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's her job to make sure I don't fall into the radioactive creek. So, arms out, head up, eyes on Pepe, one foot in front of the other, step, step. At 10 steps, I was on land again. I made it, and the locals cheered me on. I think it was to drown out their laughter at the crazy gringo. But they cheered nonetheless. And then, of course, the others followed me very easily, and I bought my fan. What's my point? The grace of today's feast. Jesus is our Pepe. He's been there before. He knows the pitfalls. And if we keep our eyes on him, we will not go far wrong. Brothers and sisters, at your most difficult moment this week, remember, Jesus is with you.